humans are hated in every work of fiction imaginable. Okay, if you're new, before the video starts, yes, I wear gloves to get used to it. I wear black gloves, and I like to look out the window as I monologue. So just roll with it. Because I was watching Spirited Away the other day. It's a really good movie. It's a Ghibli movie, but I noticed something, and it made me realize something about like fiction in general. Why are humans hated in every work of fiction possible? Humans are hated in every work of fiction possible. They got to the part where like she was about to cross the bridge and he said, hold your breath, like don't breathe or whatever. Hold your breath until we cross the bridge. And then like the frog jumped in front of her and then she gasped and then the frog said, well, a human, and then the whole bathhouse was looking for her. Everybody, they wanted her dead. And then if you go 30 minutes before that, her parents were literally eating all the food for the spirits. They were eating all the food, they got turned into pigs. That made me think. I was like, I have to make a video on this because it's so true. In most anime where there are multiple races, I guarantee you humans are at the bottom of that list. Nobody likes the humans. Literally, it could be the orcs, the goblins, the dragon people, whoever else. Whenever it comes to the humans, that's the one part they all agree on. They don't mess with those humans, bro. And I don't blame them because we do that even here on Earth. Think about it. Think about it. Let's say we're in magical land now. You are now a tiger, right? You're a tiger. You're chilling. You go to sleep. You wake up, and then you see a bunch of people standing on two legs looking at you, and then you try to like move, but you can't move. There's an invisible wall. Like, can you imagine when you flip the perspective and you put it in the perspective of like people, right? Imagine if you're a person, you go to sleep in your bed, you wake up on some alien planet, it looks like you can get out, but you can't. Every time you try to leave, there's something blocking you, and there's a bunch of like tall like beings who are like me, right? They're standing on two legs looking at you. Some are big, some are small, some are old, and you're like, the humans! That's how animals look at us! That's how animals look at us. You would think I'm an alien with what I'm finna say, like, all those humans. But listen, they're not wrong. Fiction really brings to light like the darkness. Like, let's say all these other races and stuff did exist. I don't think they would mess with us. You know why? You know why God didn't give us superpowers and anime powers, and why I can't do this? Why I can't do that? You know why that's not real? Because we will have people who wake up in a bad mood and just start blowing up whole cities. Anywhere there's another race, you can almost always guarantee that humans will pull up to destroy it. They're gonna pull up, I'm telling you, they're gonna pull up. They're not gonna be on nothing nice. They're gonna be on, man, you are really nice people. And how long do y'all live? Thousands of years? You said what? Hey man, what's that shirt made of? This how humans think. What's that shirt made of? Ancient silk from a tree that grows every 1,000 years? And it's sacred to your people. Man, we could make a lot of money off that. And then they come back and then they burn everything down. Then they enslave the people. Like, no wonder humans are hated. It was another, I forgot what anime it was. I think it was the one, if you know, tell me in the comments. Bro, when the elf princess found him, she wasn't outside. I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly. But the elf princess wasn't outside of her like confines of the kingdom for 10 minutes before she got kidnapped. She got kidnapped. That's the part I remember. Bro, she got kidnapped within 10 minutes of being on human territory. I would hate humans too, I'm not gonna lie. Another example, I was watching Rosario Vampire, and I haven't watched it recently, but when I was like 13, I was like 13, 14, I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those. High School DxD, Rosario Vampire, that's me. He asked the teacher, or somebody asked the teacher, they were like, hey, what happens if a human gets in here? And she said, oh yeah, he's sitting in class, by the way, the only human in class. And the teacher says, oh, if a human gets caught, they'll be executed. Nobody can get through here ever at all for no other reason. So if a human gets through here, we'll know. It's been long, so I don't know if I remember correctly. But the reason she said humans aren't allowed is because if they pull up, they're going to destroy everything. It's always that in every work of fiction. It's always something like that. And now let's talk about the even darker side of this coin. Light Yagami. Light Yagami sat and he saw everything that was going on. Literally a normal high school student. He now has a book that lets him kill anybody that he has the name and face of. You know what he decides? Within 24 hours of having that book, I'm gonna become the god of the new world. What? You know how there are those memes where it's like when bro explains to you what he would do if he has superpowers and you realize you're sitting next to like a genuine menace or something like that? I kid you not. I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers and I was like, yeah, we have superpowers, we do X and Y. You know what he looked me in my eyes, he told me this, and he meant this because he didn't smile. The funniest person you know isn't joking. He didn't smile, he said this with a straight face. He said if I had superpowers, he would unite every single like nation, he would unite every single nation under one flag, and he said he'd force people to get along. And he was dead serious. I was like, I mean, I see your point, but what do you mean you're not gonna want? So what happens if they don't want to? Then they're gonna die. Thank God humans don't have superpowers. I'm glad he cut us off right where he did, especially where there's elves. Like, it's something about the elves, right? Like, in fiction, elves and humans do not get along. And it's usually the elves that never started. It's always the people, bro. It's always the people, I'm telling you. Another character who had a decent point about humans, or really mortals, it was Goku Black. Villains, especially in like content, not even content, but in fiction and media in general, villains are always bad, really bad, until like you hear their reason. Until you hear their reason, they're still bad, but you understand them more. Goku Black had a very good reason. Like when you sit and really listen, he said, I've been alive, because he was Zamasu, right? He's a Kai, so he's seen everything. He's seen everything. Even you watching this video right now. You know that one time you went when you was like 7 years old and you snuck a piece of that cake and then everybody woke up and was like, who ate the cake? He saw that. His master tried to teach him, if you haven't seen Dragon Ball Super, his master tried to show him like, no, you have to give the mortals time. And he said, let's go 1,000 years in the future and see if anything changes. They went 1,000 years in the future and nothing changed. So that just solidified. Now he don't want to talk. Now he's ready to kill. He said the mortals and the gods who let all this stuff go on shouldn't exist. These people destroy their own planets. They destroy their own homes for no reason. They fight with each other, and they've been giving minds capable of true wisdom. Goku Black, he pulled up and he was like, yeah, this race deserves to end. But why, Goku Black? Okay, Trunks, before you sit and get mad at me, your planet has already been destroyed, and I've seen everything. I would say the 3 horsemen of this, because I watch a lot of anime. The 3 horsemen of like why humans are hated in fiction are Goku Black, Geto, and Light Yagami. You know why? Because all of them have decent reasons for committing their actions, but they all just like do the wrong stuff to commit them, bro. Geto tried to kill those monkeys. Geto said, what if I killed everybody that's not a sorcerer? And he genuinely tried to do that. And he was dead serious because he smoked his parents within 10 hours, bro. He smoked his parents within a day of making that decision. They were right, but still, bro, at the end of the day, and you know what makes this thing messed up is that all of these people are like, except for Goku Black, but Geto and Light, they're humans. They're also humans committing these acts. That's why humans are hated in every work of fiction. Humans get so bad that humans have to stand against other humans and they keep fighting. That's how bad it is. So that's pretty much why humans are hated in every work of fiction. They can't get along with anybody. They barely get along with themselves. Why am I talking like I'm an alien? Like I'm not from this planet. I could be an alien. See my antennas? When I was in, this is gonna sound like some really like a villain backstory, but when I went on a field trip one time and I was in probably 5th grade and I was looking at them and I was thinking to myself, imagine, and I thought this way in like 5th grade, imagine if everybody in my classroom, like everybody just woke up in one of those cages. Like you just woke up in a cage. I'm not an animal activist. I'm not here trying to stop anything, but I'm just saying, like, looking from that perspective, that is crazy. You can probably think of at least one series or a show or something where you can find what I'm saying to be true. Like if there exists multiple races and humans are among the races, it could be 100 different ones. They're all gonna agree, listen, the humans live on Earth. Don't go there, don't go. If aliens were real, or if aliens are real, and they decide to never show themselves, why would they not do that? Probably because they know how humans work. Like they just know, like, listen, bro, don't be too nice to them. They're gonna take your trees, they're gonna cut down your sacred trees, and they go sell it for V-Bucks. That's the last thing you want to hear in any foreign land. If you hear the word a human and you can like hear the question mark at the end of the sentence, let that marinate in the YouTube spirit. You see my hands, like Mr. Peabody. Thank you for watching. I will see you next one. Peace.